Peace, peace, peace. What's going on, my weebles? It's your boy, Sincere Seven, coming to you live and direct from the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit, representing the House of Genesis. So, as I said in the title, there's some things that I think that's very important for individuals to know and understand before having a discussion with me. And I'll be very honest. 10, 15, 20 years ago, me starting with that statement, whatever I'm about to say after that is very egotistical, it's very challenging, and it probably has hints of violence within it. I want to be very clear. That is not at all where I'm coming from this time. This is a whole different understanding. So when I say this has nothing to do with that energy. But these things need to be understood before you go into a conversation with me. So these things that I'm about to discuss are actually tools that have been given to us by the Condor approach, which is a psychedelic integration coach training program that a lot of us are part of. Nydia, shout out to you, baby. I see you. There's a lot of Condor coaches out here in the psychedelic realms, and there's a lot of Condor coaches who not fucking with psychedelics. Being a Condor and dealing with integration covers a lot of different aspects of life. Everybody in life deals with integration, period, whether they realize it or not. Integration is not an option. How you integrate is. And so these tools that I'm about to talk about are some of the tools that we utilize as integration coaches. Let me be clear. These things have absolutely nothing to do with psychedelics. They have absolutely nothing to do with entheogens, plant medicine, spirit realms, or anything. They have everything to do with communication and understanding your emotional intelligence. When I speak, quite often I speak about emotional intelligence on the pages. And my weebles, what I'm about to drop on us today is going to increase, if you're not aware of it, everybody's emotional intelligence. That's not a diss. That's not to say that you don't have any. All of us are educated in something at some point and can be educated more. And any of us feel threatened or bothered by that, something we need to check on ourselves. So with that being said, understand that when I'm saying that, it's not from a point of shame. And I invite you, as Condor coaches, we've learned to stop advising people. How can I have advice for you? I don't know what you're going through. All I know is what you tell me. And I could just make up opinions and things of that nature, right? But I'll invite you to do things if it sounds like a good idea to me. And if it sounds like one to you, you'll pick up that invite. If not, then you won't, right? So I want to talk about these three tools that are taught in the where's my chronic at? That's what I'm looking around for, in case y'all was wondering. You know what I'm saying? Like, flat out. I'm not scared to let y'all know that. Like, I was rolling up. But anyway, in the Condor approach, we're taught these three things. And I'm going to teach them in order to support what I'm saying about having a discussion with me, right? Over the last couple of days or whatnot, just the discussions that have been taking place on social media based off of the comment and all of that, right? Like there's a lot of new people to my page. So they're like, some people don't even know me. They don't know who I am, why I'm talking, what I do outside of the stuff that I'm talking about that has nothing to do, right? So it's like, all right, well, if y'all tapping in like that, let me just give y'all a little bit of something about me, right? And that's, if we're gonna have discussions, you're gonna be on my page, you're gonna be my weebles, we're gonna be going through these, then you have to keep these principles in mind. Well, you don't have to, but I invite you to. And so one of the first ones is what we call the 3 Ps. Now, remember when I said that none of this has to do with psychedelics, and you can utilize this in your life, period, everywhere. Please share this video. Matter of fact, share this video. Everybody needs to hear this, period. I don't know nobody who don't need to hear this. So please share this video. So going into the 3 Ps, a lot of times, a lot of us don't understand the difference in responding to something and reacting to something. And as a prior professional reactionist, I have learned the difference as well as the importance of the difference in reacting and responding. And under certain conditions, the difference can be life and death. Okay? Know before whom you stand and adjust yourself accordingly is some wisdom that I was passed down at a young age. When do you do that? When you're doing the 3 Ps. Whenever you find yourself what we might call triggered, right? If you're scrolling and you read a post and I said some shit and it literally got you triggered, it got you bothered, it got you like, right? Then that was probably the point of my post. I'm doing that. I'm searching for those soft spots. Boom. As soon as you hit that, this is where the 3 Ps come in. You pause. That's the first P. You pause. That's going to stop your ability to react. You don't want to react. It's okay to respond, never okay to react. So the first P is pause. The second P is to pull back. Pull back mentally, emotionally, physically. Pause, pull back. And the third P is do a physical scan. Now, in the times that I'm talking about, we're usually talking about social media. So this is internal. This is a physical scan internally. When you're doing this physical scan, make note of what's going on. Yo, I just got triggered as fuck. What was just said really fucking bothered me. Yo, that shit really had me feeling some type of way. You're still breathing. Why do I feel this way? Why do I feel some type of way? You know what I'm saying? Why did what he said, why did that shit trigger me? Why did that shit make me feel angry? Why did it make me feel? And now remember, this can be any conversation that you're having. Before you react, you practice the 3 Ps. Pause, pull back, and do a physical scan. The physical scan can be internal or it could be external. Like literally, I'm doing a physical scan of my external stimuli, like who's in the room, how many people around me, what are they doing, what are they saying, how are they coming at me, why are they coming at me like that, what is really on their minds while they're, right? All of this. This is something that's important because a lot of times people will react instead of responding because it was whatever came first. This is where the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn come in at. So you start fighting, you start arguing, you start going into these responses, and they wasn't needed because you never even did a physical scan to realize these people not even coming at you like that. It's not really what's going on. That what's going on is your emotions have been triggered, and that it's causing differences within the body. It's causing differences within the mindset. This is what we mean when we say before you go on a trip, the setting. We're not just talking about the physical setting, but also the mental setting. Okay? So this is what we're talking about. So you got to pause, you pull back, and you do a physical scan. This is how you really take a note of what's going on here. This is where now you're processing. So before you respond, you have thought this shit through. Okay, I see that this is a conversation, not an attack. This person don't really know me. We're just on social media. It gives you time for your emotional intelligence to kick in. Keep in mind, when I'm scrolling, I see certain shit, my first reaction, oh, this stupid motherfucker, I can't believe that. That's my reaction. What I'm going to say in the comment section should never be the same as your initial reaction. You have a reaction, that's for you. You have a response, that's for the other people. You need to keep the responses with the information that needs to be responded to. I don't need how you feel. I don't need your personal judgments. I don't need you calling names. No, none of that's important. But the information where you said this right here, I think that this is actually this and that's that, and you misrepresented that. That's a response. Oh, whatever, motherfucker. You just saying that because you don't like your mama. That's a reaction. Where in there did you get I didn't like my mama? Think that through and explain that in a legible form, and then it'll be a response. A lot of people are giving me their reactions. Remember, your initial reactions are for you. You don't read some shit and go, oh, what the fuck, this stupid motherfucker, and then go in the comments and write, oh, what the fuck, you stupid motherfucker. That's not how this shit works. Your your reaction is for you. You make an intelligent, when we say an emotional, intelligent response, that's for me. When I come on y'all page and I make responses, they're not reactionary. They're not, oh, motherfucker, you just, because you just, and you're just, no. It's, well, I think that actually this is this, and if you really think about this, this is this. And saying that only really actually does this when it comes to, right? This is a response. You can only respond if you've been able to pause, pull back, and do a physical scan. You have to have a certain amount of time between what you seen, what you read, how you processed it, and what came out your mouth or off your lips onto the screen. Pause, pull it back, do a physical scan. Think about what you're saying. Think about who you're talking to. Think about why you even talking to me. Why are you responding to me? Remember, I'm on my post. I make challenging posts for the community, for people who are intellectually, what we call it? We call it urban philosophy. That means that we like to come together and talk about this type of shit. We like to have debates. They like to be like, no, I see it differently and you see it like that. But just understand that that's who this is for. If you're not one of them people, this is not for you. This is not for people who hate the opposite sex, who think that this is a man versus woman. Let's bash each other. It's not for that. It's not against the LGBT. This not against nobody. Ain't no against nothing in this motherfucker. Let's be very clear. And if you bring that type of energy, this ain't really the place for you. If you ready to argue and disrespect, this is not the place for you. You'll get your ugly ass flushed, flat out. I'm not the one. I'm not gonna be friendly about it either. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how a lot of y'all got on my page. Some of y'all met me as a medicine man. Some of y'all met me as a shaman. Some of y'all met me as a connect. Some of y'all met me off THC infused wine. I have a lot of different companies. I wear a lot of different hats, and I serve a lot of different people. And when I'm on social media, it's my face and how I see the book. I'm reading something and my responses. I don't jump on y'all pages and do nothing. Y'all want to come here? Come with some respect. So the 3 P's. Next, what else? The logic ceiling. Let's talk about the logic ceiling. What is that? I'm going to keep it simple because when you go into talking about the logic ceiling, it opens up so much that can be discussed. Even going into the science and physiology and psychology, all this shit, right? But we're going to keep it simple today. The logic ceiling is your ability to actually observe, absorb, and utilize information that's coming towards you. You open up and you're able to absorb and get all of the information coming. Your logic ceiling closes down, and your ability to understand, your ability to hear, your ability to all of these things diminish, right? So when we're talking about something that you might not agree with, and you're like, I don't give a fuck what you say, motherfucker. I know how I feel that logic ceiling is very close. Remember, also, this is not a judgment call. This has nothing to do with anything except for the ability to actually receive the information that's being offered. So that's another thing is like, for me, when I'm having these debates and these discussions, a lot of times it's very clear that we don't agree. That's easy to understand. So a lot of people get stuck on trying to get that point across that I don't like that's the point. That's how we got into the debate. We don't agree. Now, I don't know if a lot of y'all have watched The Great Debaters. It's an excellent movie. One of my favorite, to be honest. Like, it's one of my favorite movies. And when you debate, it's not about just feeling. You use your feeling as an inspiration and a motivation to present information that supports what you're saying and how you feel about what you're saying. You're really trying to give a understanding to the other people, to offer the ability to understand, not force it. So when we talk about the logic ceiling, it's really your willingness to even take in what's being said. You don't have to agree with somebody to listen to them. It's just part of the communication, the back and forth, right? It's a very important part. You have to be able to open your logic ceiling and allow the information to enter. All right, let me hear what you have to say. All right, so you're saying da 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 blah blah blah. Okay, all right, I hear you. Right, and that because of that, that's okay. All right, okay. All of that being said, I do understand where when you said da 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 supports this because da da da. I can see that because in this kind of term da 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 da. However, when you really look at it overall, that's a small percentage of blah blah blah, and when the blah blah blah. See, that is the type of conversations that I like. And not saying you have to have statistics and all this, but you have to have the ability to one take information as well as offer it. Both of our logic ceilings have to be opened. Once the logic ceilings close, oh yes, oh no, whatever, nigga, it's not really going to be a functional conversation. So that's the other thing to keep in mind is just keep your logic ceiling open when having discussions with me. So the first one was pause, pull back, and do a physical scan, right? So you can respond and not react. And remember, this ain't just with me and on my page. This is in life, period. Anywhere you go in life, these tools will assist you. Trust me. Okay? So your logic ceiling, you have to be willing to take in other information. That doesn't mean you agree. It doesn't mean you're going to do whatever they say. It doesn't mean you're about, no, it just means I am hearing, I'm taking in what you're saying, and I'm literally considering all of this into my mental synapses before I formulate not a reaction, but a response. The logic ceiling. Keep it open. Once it shuts down, let it be known. Look, my logic ceiling is shut down. Like, no, you lost me right there. You lost me there. That's what that means. When people say you lost me there, that means their logic ceilings just went whoop. Okay. So pause, pull back, physical scan. First one. The second one was logic ceiling. Now the third one is one of my favorite. Okay. And this is the oppression trap triangle. Okay. The OTT. Trust me, you're gonna love this. Get a piece of paper, or for those artistic people, draw a triangle in your mind or on the paper. Draw a triangle. I prefer you do it on the paper, but you know, whatever. Once you draw a triangle, on one side, I want you to write villain. Villain, like a super villain, right? The bad guy. And then on the other side, I want you to write victor. Like the victor, the one who won the war. He was victorious. Victor, right? The savior. And then on the bottom, I want you to write victim. VICTIM, victim, right? The person who's being oppressed. They're all being oppressed. All right. So you got the villain, you got the victor, and you got the victim. The victim sends out the what is the virtue, the what is the virtue, the oppression virtue. It's like they're doing this to me. They're sending out the signal that's letting it being known that they are a victim. Oh my goodness, what happened? They did this to me. They put me in this position. It's always they did me. I'm the victim. I'm the one who's going through them circumstances, and it's because of somebody else, and they just made my life horrible. And they're the reason that I'm going through this, and they're the reason that I'm experiencing this, and they're the reason that I'm where I'm at in life. I am such a victim, 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 victim. And then, of course, there's somebody that's coming around on some Batman shit. Like, I just seen the victims virtue signal in the, I got to remember the name of it. It's a certain virtue that they send off. It's like a save me, right? And then the victor is like, here I come to save the day. Remember, who was that? Mighty Mouse, right? That's what they do. They the victor. They're going to save the victim. Okay? Now remember, this is the oppression trap triangle. So now the victor's here. What did they do to you? Oh, they're so wrong for that. No, why would they? How could they? That something needs to be done about this. That is the victor. This is what they sound like. They're supporting the victim in their disappointing of the actions from the villain. And now the victor's place is to oppose the villain, to stop the villain from doing what they're doing, for to let the villain know that they ain't shit, to inform the villain of their villainous ways. Right? They're the victor. They got to save the day. The only way to do that is to oppress the villain. So the villain is oppressing the victim. The victim is oppressing the victor, and the victor is oppressing the villain. Somebody say, what you mean? The victor, the victim is oppressing the victor. How is the victim oppressing the victor? What do you mean? By putting them in this state to where they need to save them. This is an oppression on their own journey. This has nothing to do with you. And now the victim is oppressing your journey, your trials, your tribulations, your life with their need to be saved. This is an endless triangle because understand, as the victor, when you oppress the villain and stop them from anything, now you are the villain's villain and they are the victim. Oh shit. And now the victim who was there before is going to be your victor because they're going to save you because you saved them sometimes. And sometimes they just get thrown. Now, why is this called the oppression trap triangle? Because it's a trap. And it's very important to keep yourself out of the oppression trap triangle. When we have discussions and people start to say things like, see, you did, and that's how come why I'm, it's like, hold on, I'm not getting the oppression trap triangle with you. That ain't got nothing. No. Right? Nobody is a villain to you. That ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend, they're not villains. And you aren't a victim. And there's nobody need to come save you. You had a life experience that involves somebody else that you feel a certain way about. You're not a victim. And so when we look at this oppression trap triangle, we'll start to understand how once you jump off in there, it's an endless triangle that you almost can't get out of and will bring a whole lot more drama to you. So then if you will remain from outside of it. So a person will be like, oh, so what you saying that it ain't wrong to do nothing and you ain't supposed to support, you ain't no. That's not what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about how these things are viewed and how they're approached. Are you saving somebody? Because if you are, wrong approach. See, the idea is to stay above the oppression trap triangle. I can see down into it and I can see who all is playing what part. Listen, y'all, when I taught this to the psychedelics class that I'm teaching at the Spiritual Ascension University, I had them come back and I asked them about after learning these, utilizing them in their daily life. And the peoples was talking about using it with their kids and their children, using it with their mates in the middle of conversations. These are excellent tools to assist you with anybody and how to make growth and development within yourself. I deal with a lot less stress now because I've been using these principles. Like Like shame spaces. Being very aware of shame spaces. Telling somebody what they should or shouldn't do is a shame space. You're telling them that they're wrong, bad, broken, not good enough, something's wrong with them because they should be something else. I I don't know what you should be, right? That's a shame space. We got to be cautious with this because it immediately causes or can cause somebody to go into a defense. What you mean I should have did? What you don't know? That's right. You shouldn't have said that. Oh, well, I'm not going to say you shouldn't have said that. I'm going to say I would invite you next time to use words that are more in support of the person than against their decisions. Such as asking a question like, do you think that that situation served you correctly? Hell no, I did serve me correctly. So, what do you think maybe might have been something better to do? Oh, well, it would have been better if I would have did. Boom. I don't have to tell you what you should do. I can ask you questions that will have you navigate and bring about your own answers, your own. Like I always tell people, I want you to be sovereign in your decisions. Anytime we're telling somebody what they should do, it's not about them, it's about us now. It's about my idea of what you should. Like, who am I to tell you I don't know what you should do. But I invite you to look at this area right here. That might give you some understanding of where you might be lacking at, or where you could do better at, or where you can make decisions that are more functional, right? Because that wasn't the right decision. Who am I to say if it was right or wrong? Was it functional? That's the question. If it wasn't functional for you, then you probably could have made a different decision. What do you think would have been a better decision? And whatever you say after that, that's the information you needed. That's how you coach. That's how you coach. See, a lot of people talk about learning how to be a coach and they're not really understanding it. Coaches are not here to tell you what to do. They here to elicit the correct answers out of you. I'm here to inspire you to give yourself the correct answers because then they're more motivational and inspirational as opposed to, oh, well, this is what you need to do. I don't feel like that. But if I can ask you a question that can make you go into the depths of yourself and say, I feel like this is what should have been done or should be done or how I should, then guess what? That resonates with you. That's the answer you need. That's the one that's going to give you the vibratory pattern that's going to build your reality the most. Period. Point blank. Ain't no question about it. You got a coach who always telling you what you should have done. I invite you to look at your idea of what a coach is and see if that coach matches what that is. See how I did? Instead of, yo, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to get rid of that ass. No, I'm not going to ever tell you no shit like that. That's not my place. See? So these tools is what I'm talking about. These tools are tools that bring about emotional intelligence, financial intelligence, sexual intelligence, with your spouses and your children. I'm talking about I've improved my state of being a father by keeping a lot of these things at mind. Because as parents, a lot of times we are always telling the children what they should do. And a lot of y'all wear that shit. Hell yeah, I'm gonna tell my kids. I hear you. We'll see how that work out. Matter of fact, how's your life going? You happy with everything in your state of life? Or are you feeling like there's things that you should be doing? Because that's the only person that you should ever be telling what they should be doing is self. And when we understand these principles, it'll make it easier for us to actually become more efficient practitioners to people. I had somebody today on one of my posts say something like, none of the stuff that you're saying is, they said, oh man, maybe I should read it. Basically, and my response was like, I don't coddle adults. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they understood. Well, they might, I'm not going to project if they didn't or not. Okay. They said this doesn't seem to be coming from a place of peace, healing, or center, which is fine. Just noting it. And my response was, get to know me better or not. I'm never fearful of other people's projections, for my resume and my reputation speaks enough for me. I do not coddle adults. She went on to be like, what do you mean? What does it have to do with that? And I'm saying to say that this doesn't seem to be coming from a place of peace, healing, or center. So one thing to understand about me is that I am prior service military. I am a healer in the community. You asked what my reputation has to do with all this. I'm going to answer those questions. I'm a healer in this community. And I very often let it be known that I'm not when you show up to the Psychonaut Academy of Detroit, you're very likely you're not going to see me sitting Indian style in a Buddha pose and open my eyes and saying, Namaste, sis, welcome to the, I'm not a peaceful, I'm a very energetic individual. Hey, what's going on? Come on in. There you go. It's so good to finally meet you face to face. And when I go into healing, I don't come from a state of love. Something is attacking you. Something is violating you. Something is trying to kill you. Love is far from my mind. The only love I have is the love for you, and I need to protect you. And as a soldier, I know how to do that. I'm going to war, baby. I'm going to war. I'm going to war. Whatever this disease is, whatever this ailment is, whatever this is that is coming against you, I'm here to come against that. That's what I've been trained to do. And I know how to come at it. First, I'm going to take the same way that I approach war is how I approach my healing. Okay? So understand that the presentation that it comes with is not going to look like love and all of that. It doesn't. A motherfucker at war doesn't look like love. But what are they doing it for? What did I sacrifice my life for? The love of my family, my country, whatever it is that makes you. Back in the day, I was patriotic. I didn't understand everything the way I understood it now. And that's why I have that same passion in my community. That same everything that I had when I was in the Army, I got it now. So I am coming from a place of peace, but you got to fight for peace. I am coming from a place of healing, but you have to fight from healing. And I'm very centered, which is why I can present these ideas without sounding like a simp. That's the thing, is I'm not projecting or cuddling. I'm not speaking and coming at these things with some type of whatever it is that you think that this doesn't seem to be coming from a place of peace, healing, center, which is fine. Whatever that idea of that coming from that's what you would be looking for. I'm not coming to live out the idea of what these things are. I am a professional at the reality of these things. And that's what I meant by my resume speaks for itself. Get to know me better. A lot of you all are new to my page. You have absolutely no idea who I am. And that's fine. But the idea that I'm going to fulfill some idea of what you think a healer is not fine. I am a healer. Check my resume. I am a safe space. Check my reputation. These things do matter. This is why I said people need to learn these quotes. Know before whom you stand and adjust yourself accordingly. That is not some type of, I'm about to be humble. No, it's saying know before whom you stand. Who is this person I'm talking to? What is their resume? What have they done? What have they shown? What have they, and then adjust yourself accordingly. Oh, okay. It's like, this motherfucker probably can't even dance. Dog, that's Chris Brown. So, okay, you stupid. No, oh, that's Chris Brown. Oh, okay, nah, he clowning it. He can clearly dance. Whether I like his dance or not, he can dance. This is a wise individual. I'm knowing before who I'm standing, and I'm adjusting myself accordingly. I don't like Chris Brown. Me personally, I don't like him. But if that's who the fuck that is on the stage, I'm about to shut the fuck up about some dance, because I know whether I like him or not, he can dance. So his reputation and his resume has a lot to do with the ideas that I'm trying to project onto an individual, saying what they are or aren't. He is a fucking dancer. And he is one of the people that say that people in the community say if anybody was to go for the best artist in the world against Michael Jackson, it would be him. And I'm going, damn, I've heard more than a few people say that. So regardless of how I feel, it's very clear that the motherfucker is a good dancer. See what I just did there? It's not an offensive thing. It's just like knowing before whom we stand and adjusting ourselves accordingly. When you say something to me, like I said the other day, when I said something about, oh, well, where do you work at, or what do you do? Excuse me, what do you do for a living? And what do you bring to the table in a situation? And people kept saying, oh, that's some broke nigga shit, and that sounded like, okay, do the knowledge to who you're talking to before you respond like that. That sounds like a nigga asking because he broke. Do you know who I am? Do you know what I do? Do you know what I run? Do you know? Okay, if you knew all of that, that wouldn't even come with another response. Why else might I be asking? Because I don't need your little funky ass $24 an hour that you get from Chrysler or whatever motherfuckers be at. Like, I don't care whether you broke or whether you get a lot. They're conversations just to get in the know. It's like, check it out. What do you do for a living? That's one question. Me, I'm a medicine man. I own a wine company, blah, 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 blah. Watch this. How much you make a year? That's a whole nother question. And so for me, when I'm seeing individuals say that they're offended by one of them, and I'm going, that's quite odd. Because in the circles that I run in, that's a quite acceptable question. Now, the second one might be like, well, hold on now, baby. You asking a little too much, ain't you? You going a little deep, ain't you? You right? Those who know. Those who don't, you don't. I know what I'm saying by that. And if you don't, that's what I'm saying. So the offensive part, right? You know what I'm saying? The projection altogether is not healthy for none of us. That's why the communication needs to take place. Because all the projection is unhealthy, because it's never going to be what you think it is, because you're projecting forward into what you think it is. Just ask questions, figure out what it really is, man. I love this shit, man. I love y'all, man. I love kicking it. I love going through all of this. The oppression trap triangle, don't fall in it, right? The logic ceiling. Be able to have discussions, because that's what I felt about the conversation we was having the other day. Is like a lot of people logic ceiling is just not even open enough to have this conversation. People are bringing up things that have absolutely nothing to do with what the fuck we talking about, or they keep projecting this idea that they have as somebody trying to check how much money they got to use them. Shorty, you've been violated, you've been misused and mistreated by these broke motherfuckers, and you need to be healed. I don't need your check. That's not why I'm asking. So all of y'all projecting all of this, that sounds like a broke nigga question. Well, stop fucking with broke niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna ask you, you got any commas? What you got more in your account? Commas or decimals? Since you want to talk fly. You got more commas or points in your account? Let's really, what you mean? Exactly. Stop. You don't even know what questions to be offended by. You know what? All right, I'm about to about this shit, y'all. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I've been microdosing, and today I don't even tell them. Don't tell them you was taking the microdoses with the Tamarian in it. You gonna get some shit started. I'm microdosed on the Tamarian. Y'all don't understand. You don't like these last couple of days. Like, yeah, I want all the smoke, man. I know what I'm talking about. We having fun with it, but shit, real out here. You understand? We can kick. Hold on, man. Let me see what y'all talking about. Let me see if anybody in the comment section and shit. I be forgetting people be in it, boy. All right, ain't nobody talking about nothing cool. Yeah, man. So I'm like in that energy to where, like, yes, I'm tapped in, but y'all, that Tamarian do have a certain type of, like, when you dealing with warrior spirit, we not really dealing with how you feel. We not concerned with how you feel. It's like we telling you things for your greater good. We telling you things so you get on point. We telling you things so you can prove yourself. Oh, well, that shit, I ain't hurt my feelings. Girl, shut up. Nigga, shut up. Whoever, shut up. Your feelings. Yo, take this work. This is going to help you out. This is going to get your money right. It's going to get your relationships right. This is going to get you all of that shit. You don't want to step that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Some of that shit ain't soft shit. It ain't meant to be soft. You know what I'm saying? There's correction, and then there's comforting. Like, everything ain't comforting, and correction definitely ain't comforting. You know what I'm saying? And the correction for me is being offered. I invite you to look at these things in a different way. You have fuck that nigga, leave that shit right there. Leave it right there. Let me be very clear and egotistical. I'm never presenting these things as like, oh, we need this change in the community because I'm frustrated. I don't be going through the shit. If you read, they're always motivated by social media and somebody else saying something. That whole discussion was because somebody else said, what type of motherfuckers is asking a woman this question? And I'm like, what type of woman is getting offended by that question? And I said it in the beginning of the post. A lot of people lost that. I seen this. I didn't agree with it. So instead of commenting on their shit, I'll make my own post. What type of motherfucker gets offended by a question? What you do for a living? We bring it to the table. And I said, I don't care to argue it, but if you care to comment so I can see the red flags, go ahead and be free. And boy, they let the red flags fly. They were on there like, oh, let me show you my red flag. Hey, let me show you my red flag. Hey, I was like, did anybody read this? Because I'll go through it. I don't care to because it's a red flag. And then today, which is why I said I appreciated everybody who did respond, because today I came to the understanding they're being bothered by the term red flag because they're confusing it with me saying they're toxic and not understanding that a red flag is just saying in your journey, this is not the direction you want to go. You're getting colder. Instead of, you're getting warm. You're getting warm. Remember that game we used to play? You hide something. Where's my shit at? Well, you cold right now. Man, for real, where's it at? You getting colder. You getting cold. Okay, all right. So it's this way? You getting warmer. You getting warm now. Yeah. You getting real hot. You getting there we go. Okay. Same shit. You're getting colder. You're getting colder. Further away from what I'm looking. Oh, fuck you. Ain't nothing wrong with me. No, you're just getting colder. You're further away from what I want to deal with. Hot peas and butter. Okay, hot peas and butter. So the term so it's like me saying red flag instantly just had women like ready to just defend themselves. And it's like, how you defending yourself against a direction? For me, on the direction I'm on, I'm not going in this direction. I don't want to deal with that type of, well, ain't nothing wrong. Who said there was something wrong with you? Who said, I don't give a fuck about how you feel about motherfucker ask you that question. If you are offended and immediately feel the need to react with negativity, you're a red flag to me. Yo, shorty, what you do for a living? Why, nigga? Oh, never mind. I don't give a fuck. Conversation's over. You know what I'm saying? Honey the master. Yo, peace and congratulations. And I'll leave that at that. You know what I'm saying? Peace and congratulations. I'm still coming amongst people who speaking it. I'm like, yo, you know what? That's my girl. I love. Yo, peace and love. Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? Yo, just growth and development of everything has been beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. But yeah, y'all, like we just need to be a little bit more calm with our reactions to things. Learn to respond accordingly. Because again, I'm not moved. These things is for the community. I'm having fun. Y'all gotta understand, I'm here with my children in both of my houses. I'm living good. We eating good. I don't really care about people's how they feel about what I'm saying. I'm saying in the community, I think maybe we should look at this conversation right here. Maybe we should look at how we respond to this right here. Are you being trained by social media to respond to certain stimuli in a certain way? That maybe should have been how I started the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Yeah. You know, maybe that should have been what I said to make people look at it from a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like look at it from a different way. Like, what really triggers you and what inspires you and why? Is it self-led? Or is this really an offensive question to you? Or did social media tell you that as a woman that this is how you're supposed to respond when somebody asks you this? That's my question to y'all right now. On some G shit. If you was one of the people who was coming off on some like that question and that ideology and all of that is that's my like, yeah, that was offensive. Where'd you learn that at? Your father told you that? Your mama told you that? Where did you learn that? Because me personally, I'm willing to bet dollars to donuts that you learn that shit from social media. Where you think I learned to even really like look into like how, just like the whole 50-50 thing. Like, man, shut up, man. Like people just be reposting. Like the other day, I seen somebody repost, and it was like going through the internet like crazy. It was like something about this is the cure for HIV and herpes or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn. And it was just like, as I was scrolling, I seen that John like 20 times shared by multiple people. And I said, I wonder if anybody who shared this is aware of anybody who's experienced it. Like, actually, whatever they're saying, like, can verify that, whatever it is that, like, for me, it's like, wait, what do you mean? Like, how, like, why, like, you get what I'm saying? Or am I just sharing it because everybody else sharing it and it's about something that's so vital and so, or vital, excuse me, it's so vital to the information in the community? Like, why do we fall into certain things? Right? And then now you have this whole ideology of, oh man, Facebook started being whack when they got fact checkers. I disagree. I used to say it all the time. I would be sitting and then the conversation would come like, yo, did you hear about the? I'm like, wait, that was real? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. I seen it on social media. I thought it was some bullshit. I scroll so much, everything that I see is like bullshit to me. It's everything's bullshit. Everything, like the way people talk about the news, that's how I see social media. I'll be like, wait, the news? No, that actually happened. No, there are people getting bombed. And then social media, oh, they motherfuckers just be lying and shit. All they do is lie on the news. And then I scroll social media and all I see is lies and projection. I'm going, wait, the news is lying, but y'all telling the truth. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Right? Talk to me. I talk back. Talk a little shit because I talk that. You know what I mean? But yeah, yo, I just wanted to tap in and just talk about those aspects, the oppression trap triangle, the logic ceiling, and the 3 Ps. Pause, pull back, do a physical scan. Learn to respond and not react. React lacks emotional intelligence. It's like that's all I had was reaction. That's how I felt. I felt a certain way and I put it out there. Forget whether it was dumb, whether it was acceptable, whether it had any wisdom to it. It's how I felt. That's a reaction. It's not really needed. What's your response? Responses come from a more intellectual place. You know what I'm saying? More thought out, more supported with something. Something. I'll leave that to you. But I'll await your responses to everything. It's urban philosophy. Waiting my turn. With a smile on my face. Y'all stop taking stuff so serious. I'm just having fun. Love y'all. Tell somebody you love them in a language they can understand it in. Peace.